Okay, I'm gonna do a bit of a different video today. I'm actually gonna talk about the Daikyu, but less to do with, oh my god, I just found this really cool thing, and more to do with, you should avoid this weapon with every moral fiber of your being, okay? This is the single worst bow in the game, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying, or hasn't tried any of the other bows in the game. They must have, like, there's no way anyone could unironically tell me that the Daikyu is the best bow in the game, and I am looking specifically at you, editor of a website that I can't remember the name of, who did a tier list where you unironically told me that the Soma Prime is the best rifle in the game, and the Daikyu is the best bow in the game. I am looking at you specifically. Why is the Daikyu simply put the worst bow in the game? Let's have a look. The Daikyu has two things that make it really good compared to other bows. The problem is, where these strengths lie in the Daikyu is precisely the wrong place that you want those strengths to be. The strengths are that it has 50% status chance and 500 base damage compared to 200 base damage on the Paris Prime, the Dread, etc, okay? So, really high base damage and really high status chance. The problem with having really high base damage is that the Daikyu's crit chance does not exist. It says 20%, but you might as well read that as 0. It's actually meaningless. If you put Point Strike on the Daikyu, you have 50% crit chance, which means every arrow is a coin toss between whether or not you get a crit and whether or not you don't. Okay? The bigger problem with that is that every other bow can quite easily surpass 100% crit chance. The Paris Prime and the Dread can surpass 100% crit chance with just Point Strike, and so can the Lens. The Sonos Prime reaches 87.5% crit chance, which means it only needs any Riven that has crit chance to surpass 100% crit chance. Or you could just use Argon Scope, and the moment you do a headshot, which you probably will if you shoot vertically, you'll get 100% crit chance. The Daikyu, sitting at 20% crit chance, going up to 50% crit chance, means it actually needs a Riven that can give it 250% crit chance in order to surpass 100% crit chance. Okay? Does that make sense? 250% of 20 is 50. 50 plus 50 is 100. That's how that works. So, therefore, it doesn't matter that the Daikyu has 500 base damage, because the moment the Paris Prime does a crit, it already does 400 base damage as part of the crit. And because I am not incentivized to put in Point Strike on the Daikyu, I'm also not incentivized to put in Vital Sense. So, it doesn't matter. On a Paris Prime, I'm going to do more damage per arrow. Just like that, okay? I realize I've already been talking for 4 minutes, so this theory section is going to go on for quite a while, so you may want to skip ahead if you're just interested in seeing how poorly this weapon performs on Garuda, Mag, and Harrow. But let's continue. 50% status chance. This is horrible, because this weapon is not a shotgun, okay? On a shotgun like Tigress Prime, the reason why I think it's like 35% status chance on Tigress Prime, going up to 100% status chance on Tigress Prime when you use the 60/60 mods. The reason why that is super duper strong is because Tigress Prime is a slash based weapon. The Daikyu is a puncture based weapon. So that's pretty shithouse. Okay? And not only that, even if the Daikyu had equal distribution between impact, puncher, slash, so that you essentially have a 33% chance of getting a slash proc when you have a 100% status chance on your bow. In order to get a 100% status chance, you need to put in some 60/60 mods. So that gives you a fourth element, which means the overall chance of getting that slash proc when you do the calculations will probably come down to around 25% or thereabouts. That is a problem, And the reason why that is a problem is because hunter munitions exists. So it doesn't matter that the status chats of the Daikyu can reach 100% if I then have to have slash damage and slash procs compete with 3 other status procs. If this was a 50% status chats weapon with like 2 procs, we might be able to get away saying this is pretty good, like in terms of getting slash procs. But because there's 3 different physical elements to deal with, we're up shit creek, okay? That's why this weapon is just horrible in every way. It's got the worst crit chance, outside of maybe Mark 1 Paris uncharged. It's got average crit damage. It has I think it has the slowest charge rate, which is just horrible. And its strengths are actually meaningless. 100%. Anyway, enough rambling. Holy crap, 6 minutes. Let's go and have a look at how bad this weapon is. So we're just gonna go up against some level 100 corrupted heavy gunners. We've even decided to pause the AI. And I'm even using viral damage for viral procs. So we've got a slash proc and we've got a viral proc. Will this end up killing the heavy gunner? No. And without my 4th ability's duration being active, I essentially get to do nothing with the Daikyu. This might actually kill the heavy gunner. That's garbage, guys. That's so bad. And keep in mind, this is Garuda. You could actually just do something like this, and everyone's dead. So we already know that it's no good with Garuda. Let's have a look and see if we can find someone else to make the Daikyu partially useful, question mark? I don't know. Maybe the answer is someone like Mag, to be able to strip armor and clump enemies together. Surely that must be the Ray. I don't know. Let's give it a go. The only plus side is, with that extra status chads, I could just shoot someone and get growing power up. But we've swapped to gas damage. Maybe? But keep in mind these guys are still, so they might be taking stealth damage, which gas procs tend to do a lot of damage to. Or maybe not. I don't know, it's real hard to say. I mean, at this point, I might as well get a bow that can brute force through everyone, you know? Because after all, this is Mag. Mag could just drop the bobble anyway. They would have all blown up. If we just unpause the AI for a second, get our energy. I do appreciate the extra status chance giving me growing power immediately, but I do have cryo trust, so that's also meaningless. Why bother doing this when I already have like several bows that can just kill them all in a couple of shots? So I don't know. Maybe this is a way, but I'm not convinced that this is the way. I'm not convinced that this is enough to warrant using a bow like the Daikyu. Let's have a look at one more way that could prove a little bit more interesting, but I'm gonna warn you, it's more to do with the WarFrame than it is to do with the bow. Good old-fashioned Harrow, but at this point you might as well make this a Harrow video, really. We might see something fun, but also, because I'm so bad at Harrow, I might end up dying instead. if we do manage to get a red crit, orange crit with the slash proc, then yeah, that does do quite a lot of damage, and that's pretty cool. But at this point, what we're doing, I might as well just use any other bow and attach hunter munitions to it. It's literally the same effect. So, I don't know. Is this enough to warrant me using Daikyu? No. It's still bad. It just turns out that Harrow is able to overcome the precisely bad thing about this weapon, which is the low crit chance. So, I don't know. So that is the Daikyu. As you can see, it's really bad with some Warframes, barely average with other Warframes, and could be considered good, I guess, for a brief period of time. I don't know. I really don't understand anyone who likes this weapon outside of it looking good, I guess. But the stats and the demonstrations don't lie. This is horrible. This is easily the worst bow in the game. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you happen to be one of those people who like the Daikyu, unironically, can you explain to me why? Can you explain to me how? Show me a build. Give me something to look forward to. I don't want to put any formula in this weapon anymore. I seriously have no idea what the path is. So let me know if you happen to use this bow regularly. Otherwise, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!